tell my students, when you get these jobs that you have been so brilliantly trained for, just remember that your real job is that if you are free, you need to free somebody else. If you have some power, then your job is to empower somebody else. R.I.P. Toni Morrison.
That phrase could not be any more true.
Yeah. So,
of course, we got to start the show off on a sad note. The legendary Toni Morrison finally made her transition. She was a lot older, for
88.
For what that's worth.
Her work was done.
Her work was done, so.
And she left a great impact on the community, and she will definitely be missed. But, I think it's going to just spark new fans of hers. So that's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
So
Who are we?
Who are we?
I guess I'm Ryan.
And I'm Tara, and this is Tara Talks Ryan Listens. And we want to thank you for tuning in one more week and for allowing us to talk and for listening to us and join you this week. As we sometimes do, we'll start off with kind of sharing a little bit of what's going on in our lives. And so this past Sunday, I went to Bridal Expo number 2. And so this one was local, and it was, it was a little bit more low key. I went with 2 of my bridesmaids, and they are just absolutely amazing. Shout out to Jessica and Michelle for, being there with me and helping me fill out all those forms and, take pictures of everything and get good ideas. I think it was a success. I got more out of it than I was expecting to, because especially compared to the Houston one, which was humongous.
Right.
This one was kind of small. And so at first I was like, oh, this is about to be lame. But it actually was pretty cool and really helpful. I found some really great vendors that I think we're going to use, and we're going to get some pretty good discounts on stuff just for going to that expo. So that's always cool. A lot of my friends either just got married or are engaged as well. And so one of my friends who just got engaged was asking, what's the point of bridal expos? And I will say, for me, number one, it rejuvenates your excitement for the wedding. And so that's always good because it can be stressful. It can be tiresome. It can be, a little bit even annoying at times, just all the little things you have to do and plan. It's a whole nother job in and of itself.
Basically.
I wish I could take a sabbatical from my day job to do that full time, but it's fun, and going to the expos really kind of gets you back pumped up because everyone's like doting on you and they're, super excited, and you get fun swag and take pictures. And so it's pretty cool. But practical use of the expo is you get to kind of narrow down some of your plans and get ideas and network with vendors. And so that was really helpful. This one had some really unique vendors. They had hair and makeup vendors, which is cool or whatever, and I'm sure they were at the Houston one too, but I just probably missed them. But it's just odd to me that, obviously I already know who's going to be doing my hair and makeup, but the skincare products and things that they try to get you to do, there was like a orthodontist there, which, that's something people are always thinking about, like, let me make sure my smile is on point for that special day. A chiropractor, which, you know what? I might have to book an appointment because it is stressful. I'm always stressed, and planning the wedding is not necessarily the source of the stress. But yeah, it was some pretty cool vendors there, and there was like a cake eating contest. That was a sight to see.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was like couples.
Was that guy from the chicken wing thing there? Because he probably would have beat everybody.
No. Yeah, I know. That's what made me think of. It was hilarious.
Like, the guy probably could have eaten like 6 wedding cakes.
Probably. There was a dance contest.
Sound like this one was more fun.
It was. I took part in the dance contest. Did I tell you that?
No, you did not.
I did. And I'm sure Jessica.
You took part in something?
I did. Wow. I didn't want to, but then they were like, I think it was like $150 cash prize.
Interesting.
So I was like, oh yeah, I can dance for that.
Dance and make her dance.
yeah, I can I will. Bands will make me dance. So I did, and Michelle joined me as well. I think Jessica just took pictures, so she could probably send you some of those. But
she hasn't sent them yet. That's the crazy part.
Here's the thing: it wasn't just like freestyle, which is what I was expecting and hoping for, but it was really like some weird line dance that I had never heard of, and there was one girl in the front who was getting it. And I thought she was like the person, I thought she was the choreographer. I thought she was just like demonstrating to us how to do it and we were following her. Then she ended up winning.
What?
So apparently she was a contestant too. And I was like, oh, she should win.
That's how she won.
She should. She deserved to win. She knew it. Yeah, we were all looking at her. So it's so funny. But yeah, it's so many line dances. Honestly, y'all lost me somewhere after like the biker shuffle or whatever. But yeah, this one was definitely a new one for me. I hope Jessica got video as well so you can be amazed because it was very weird. But it was fun. Like I said, it's all about having fun and getting ideas to narrow stuff down and, just going from there. So
interesting.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I didn't go to this one. I felt like this one needed to be a girls trip, so it was a girls trip.
It was. And I mean, we had mimosas, we had fun,
Yeah, I was like, you sure you don't want me to go? And she was like, you can if you want to. I was like, well, if you want it to be a girls trip, then that's fine. Be a girls trip.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, once I got there, I was glad you didn't come just because it was nice to just have a day with the girls. But I'm glad you went to the first one. One thing I didn't like about this one compared to the first one, literally there were 0 bakers that I saw.
Really?
0 bakeries. So no cake tasting, which is so weird. Like, how do you not have cake tasting? Like, cake tasting to me seems like that would be like bare minimum. But I will say there is another bigger bridal expo here, but we were going to be out of town, so I couldn't go to that one. So maybe all the bakers decided, they got together and decided to go to that one. I don't know.
Why we going to be out of town though?
We are going to be out of town because we're going to our engagement party. Shout out to my big sis for planning an engagement party for us. I'm super pumped. Cannot wait. Super excited to see everybody. We're going to see a lot of our friends and family that we haven't seen in years. Like literally some of our friends that we went to like elementary school with.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. I can't wait to see people. And I can't wait to just like, again, just celebrate. And that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah. So that should be fun.
So going back to more sad news. What's on my timeline, y'all? You know what's on my timeline. Prayers for El Paso. And even though I'm saying let's pray for El Paso, I am so sick and tired of having to have a thoughts and prayers moment for a city because of gun violence, because of terrorists. It's really terrorism. We can call it a mass shooting all day long. This at this point is terrorism when people are afraid to go to Walmart, to go to the movies, to go to church, to go to any common place. I just cannot believe that we are still allowing this to happen in what is, y'all want to say this is the best country or whatever.
Best country where?
How? Like we have the worst statistics for a developed nation. It's really sad.
Right. It's like we're like I guess bottom of the favorite. I don't know how to even put it. It's like, sure, we're a developed nation, so we're on an elite list of nations.
But we're the worst, like one of the worst of those.
Right. We've got like the literal worst statistics.
Yeah. In terms of imprisonment, mass shootings,
gun violence in general.
Yes.
Education. And it's crazy how the country is so divided on
vacation days,
maternity leave.
It's
paternity leave. Most of us don't even know what that is over here.
We're so behind on so many things. It's sad. We need gun reform so bad it's not even funny. Like, I just can't believe, like, seriously, after Sandy Hook, where we saw little white children gunned down, and that was what, 4 or 5 years ago?
That was more than that. It was
It was
2012.
Yeah, it's been, yeah, I think it was 2012. Yeah, it's been a while. That was the beginning of the end.
That was December 14th, 2012.
Wow. When we can allow an elementary school to be shot up and not take action and say, you know what, it's time for a change. Here's my problem with when we have a mass shooting and then we say we need gun policies in place. People get upset because they're like, you're not going to take my gun. The thing is, nobody's trying to take your gun. We're trying to make sure that there is a process in place where people who can be mature and responsible and use guns appropriately, like, you know, if you want to have your gun in your safe in your house to protect your family, just what is it, 9mm? What's a basic?
I guess a 45
gun. Yeah,
45 9. I don't know. I don't know
a lot about guns, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That's fine. That makes sense. But the type of guns that people are getting, where they're able to just kill 20, 30 people, that's ridiculous. 20 people were killed in El Paso. Dozens were wounded. And El Paso is a majority Hispanic border city. So this was targeted terrorism. This was not just a mass shooting.
The shooter drove 10 hours.
13 hours.
13 hours to another city just to go kill Mexican
people.
No,
I'm sorry. You're right. 10 hours.
He drove a significant amount of time just to kill Mexican people.
Right. So this was not.
He drove a significant amount of time
not random.
to kill humans. So one human,
because of the color of their skin,
one human decided that these brown humans over here,
not okay.
He decided he wanted to go kill him.
Not
and
okay.
Yet the police took him in without a scratch.
Which is I just think it's funny how a black child with a toy gun gets gunned down.
Shot and killed on sight.
Right.
R.I.P. to Tamir Rice.
But
all of these mass murderers, all of these white terrorists, the police took Dylan Roof to fucking Burger King, bro.
I was just about to say Burger King.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He gets a burger, shot up a whole black church. Hey, you want something to eat back there,
right,
buddy?
You hungry? Like what?
Hey, 12-year-old black boy, is that a gun in your hand? Blow, you're dead.
Dead. I mean,
it was a toy. He was a child.
Right. Not even injured.
And here's the thing. Absolutely nothing is going to change until racism is called what it is. Racism. It is simple racism. If you don't believe racism is still a thing in the United States of America, get the hell off this show right now. Like, close your app. Don't listen to us ever again. Don't follow us. Don't comment. Don't tweet us. Because you are part of the problem. Nothing is ever going to change until you call it what it is. That's like, you're not going to keep pissing in my face and telling me it's ice cream. You're not.
So El Paso was bad enough. But this past weekend, there were 2 mass shootings in the U.S. just 13 hours apart.
13 hours apart.
So after El Paso, there was Dayton, Ohio. Not Toledo, unlike 45, can't get his
facts straight because he was somewhere playing golf.
Right.
Your president don't give a damn about you. And you're perfectly fine with it.
And in Dayton,
what does that say about you?
9 were killed, 27 wounded. And again, we have said this before, and I say it again, we did not, set out for this to be a political show at all, but we could not be silent on this issue. We're talking about humans being killed, just over the weekend. We're not going to breeze past that.
There's an entire listing on Wikipedia for mass shootings in the United States in 2019.
And the crazy thing is, whenever we talk about traveling abroad or study abroad or whatever, we're going on a trip, we always talk about, we got to check and make sure that country is safe to go to. A lot of countries are now warning their citizens not to come here.
And I don't blame them.
Or if you come here, don't go to amusement parks. Don't go to movies.
Movie theaters.
Don't go to the grocery store.
Don't go to Walmart.
What? That is a problem. And if you don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know where to begin. With Dayton, Ohio, this person, suspected white supremacist shooter, was reportedly angry that his sister was dating a black man. And I believe all, if not the majority of the victims were black. And so again, we're killing people because of the color of their skin. And the odd thing is, 45 was quoted as saying hate has no place in our country. Interesting, because that was what you ran on.
Stop lying.
You ran on hatred. And then he also said mental illness is the problem.
Stop lying.
Stop blaming mass shootings on mental illness. Stop blaming racism on mental illness. Like, seriously, these people know what they're doing. He wrote a manifesto and told you what he did and why he did it, and y'all still are searching, grasping for a reason. Maybe it was mental illness. Maybe it was video games. No.
Nah, fam.
Okay.
That's not how that works.
No, video games do not make you go out and want to kill people. That's not how that works.
I've been playing Grand Theft Auto for years, and the vast majority of that game is stealing cars and shooting people.
Right.
Again, for years, I think I was probably about 14 the first time I played Grand Theft Auto. I have never shot anybody. I have never stolen a car. I don't even think I've been in a fight, because you can fight on that game. You can literally fight random pedestrians. Sometimes you got to fight your opponents in the game. I've not been in any fights since I've been playing that game. So don't blame it on the video games.
I saw one post that said mass shooters aren't quoting Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, or Fortnite. They are quoting the president
of the United States of America.
I saw another one that said they say video games make you violent, but hundreds of years ago we burned people alive for being witches. So probably humans are just garbage.
Oh yeah, there's that. There's definitely that.
There's so many atrocities and acts of violence that occurred before a video game system was even thought of. So nice try, but that's not it. That is not it. It's not the problem, so it can't be the solution. Right. So
the next mass shootings, we're gonna eliminate car washes, automatic car washes. Now you can't drive through a car wash anymore because that makes you violent.
Right.
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to close all the Walmarts, because that way nobody will get shot at a Walmart. There's the answer.
That's not the solution, and I just need people to understand.
Oh, it's thoughts and prayers.
Right.
But the Republicans and the racist people swear by God and country, or whatever the phrase is. But at the same time, you steady quoting the Bible about X, Y, and Z, about stuff you don't agree with. But faith without works is dead, as according to James 2:14-26. But at the same time, thoughts and prayers aren't going to work if you don't put in the work. So you can't have faith and then just not do anything and expect the problem to go away. Saying the words thoughts and prayers, it's not going to change anything. It's not.
Speaking of racism, there was a Texas police officer, two officers, who were riding horseback, and they were leading a black male suspect by a rope. And if you've seen this image, it is disgusting. It's quite disturbing. And
this is 2019, by the way.
And the thing is, the image is just so gross. Here's the thing. How is it 2019 and we are having these same images that are, almost identical to the slavery era? And, you could argue that this stuff has been happening for years, but, ignorance is bliss. We didn't know because we didn't have social media. That very well may be true. Mm-hmm. But I also believe that, after the 2016 election, there was a resurgence of hate towards Black people, towards the LGBTQ community, towards any people of color, towards anyone who was different from what, the majority or the historical majority is seen as. And I do believe that, to me, just from a practical stance, my first thought when I look at this picture is if you're on horseback, or if you're on a Vespa, or if you're on a motorcycle, or if you're on foot, like if you're not in a car and you're a cop, wouldn't you just call for backup?
Y'all got the technology. Use it. It's a million of y'all cops. We know it. Like
typically, police officers who are on horseback are not really arresting people. So if you were in a situation where you had to arrest someone,
you could have literally got off your high horse and stood there. Stood there with that fellow human of yours. Doesn't matter what he did, he's still a human.
Honestly, I haven't really, I'm not sure how accurate this is, but what I heard was that the guy didn't even do anything. He was just loitering. He was homeless. And so
sounds right too.
Because
we treat homeless people like trash around
exactly.
here too.
That's what makes it even worse. Because we're not talking about a violent criminal who you just had to arrest right away. And even if you arrested him, you could have, like you said, stood by him and waited for backup. Like why I have to change the topic because this is making me mad.
Because I'm finna start saying a lot more words than the ones I've already said, and quite frankly, I still want this to be a clean show, so I'm gonna have to go back and edit myself.
Yeah.
Point is,
so
at the end of the day, the United States of America was originally not inhabited by white people. Because what's that thing about 1492? So if that guy was white, he got here by mistake because according to history lessons, he was an idiot and was looking for something completely different, which is why Native Americans have been called Indians for so many years, because he thought he was in India or something like that. Then paid attention in history class in elementary school. The settlers in the New World and the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. The Pilgrims landed here. That's how people began to come from Europe. So it's not like this was just already inhabited by white people.
Also, the white people that came here first were here as a prison sentence.
They got kicked out of Europe. They were like, y'all ain't good enough to be here.
This was punishment.
Expedite y'all. Not expedite. What's the word?
Extradite?
Not extradite. That's what I was trying to say. Still not the word excommunicate. They were excommunicated.
Yeah, this was punishment. So
yeah. So if you really think about it, Europe's prisoners came over here, basically just stole all the land and killed a bunch of other people, and now it's yours. So basically what you're saying is that white people stole and it's okay, and it's celebrated that white people stole things. But then if anybody else steals something, oh, look at those thugs, they're stealing. Make up your mind. So
back to Toni Morrison. So I was in a workshop and I was taking notes. Like, you know, like it's one of those workshops where it's like, you can't be on your phone, we want you to be present. But I was taking notes on my laptop. And then it flashed across my screen that Toni Morrison died. And I really thought it was fake.
It's crazy because I saw it like hours. I saw somebody had posted it on, I forgot what the name of the website was, but someone wrote the article literally the night before, you know, we found out the next morning. And one of my friends on Facebook shared it at like 9 a.m. something. And I was like, okay, I don't see anything else backing this up. So let me just wait, you know, before I repost it or tell anybody. And 3 hours later, it was confirmed. Like, I'm trying to figure out how the one person who wrote that first article found it so quickly before anybody else had even caught wind.
I don't know, but I will say, I mean, I am sad. I think the one thing that makes it a little bit better is the fact that she was 88. So, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, there's never a good time for people to leave this earth. But, you know, I saw someone say her work is done. I mean, she did so much. And so, you know, now it just makes me want to go back and read and reread her books. This seems like a great time to read The Bluest Eye. You know, there's just so much. I will say, like, in terms of, like, you know, there's so many levels of privilege. One very interesting point of privilege that I never really thought about until recently, a few privilege walks and questionnaires and things like that. I grew up surrounded by books. So, like, seriously, shout out to my mom. Like, she made me such an avid reader, which then made me a great writer. I grew up surrounded by Toni Morrison and Maya Angelou and Susan Taylor and Terry McMillan and Iyanla Vanzant before she was on reality TV. Like, she was, you know, phenomenal author. And so, you know, it's just one of those things where she's one of the greats, and she's definitely going to be remembered. I like I said earlier, I think the best part about someone like her passing is, there's a new generation that's going to be exposed to her. Just because it's going to be all over social media, they're going to be like, oh, who's Toni Morrison? Oh, let me read one of her books. Like,
man, y'all fake, because y'all wouldn't even mess with Toni Morrison. Man, shut that. Don't even start that.
That's ridiculous.
I think start that.
There's nothing wrong with becoming a fan of someone.
Don't get mad because nobody's paying attention to you, because that's really all it is. We know. Yeah. You ain't fooling nobody. Speaking of Susan Taylor, did I ever tell you about the time I met her?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, so The Bluest Eye, man, 1970, Song of Solomon, Selah, Tar Baby, Beloved, and of course, Beloved, was turned into a movie with Oprah and Danny Glover, Teddy Newton, Kimberly Elise. I mean, it's just so many amazing things. I just seriously am just, as a writer, I'm just in awe of her. So many great quotes, just so many great lessons. She just, I don't know. Shonda Rhimes, of course, who you probably all know, the producer of Grey's Anatomy and Scandal and How I Met Your Mother, How to Get Away with Murder, and a lot of other great shows. She tweeted, "She made me understand, in quotes, writer was a fine profession. I grew up wanting to be only her. Dinner with her was a night I will never forget. Rest Queen, Toni Morrison." So yeah, it's one of those things where, she lived a great life. She impacted so many people. Hillary Clinton said, if there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, you must be the one to write it. And that's a Toni Morrison quote. And Hillary said, we are all so lucky to live in a world where she took her own advice and shared it with others. And that's so true. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. And so definitely, if you're a Toni Morrison fan, share your favorite Toni Morrison quote with us, or your favorite book of hers. I'm going to say I'm probably going to start The Bluest Eye here soon, just because I made a goal to read 30 books this year, and I've really been slacking. I've been so deep into podcasts lately that I just haven't been able to get into any of my books. Also, after I think I've told y'all this before, after I finished If Beale Street Could Talk, I just couldn't get into another book because it ended so oddly, and I had no one to talk to about it. So I guess I need to watch the movie. Maybe that'll give me closure. So Monica Lewinsky is back on the scene.
What she done did?
So she trolled Mike Pence because people were saying, I guess, talking about him because his wife works for an anti-LGBTQ Christian school. And so they were dogging him out for old girl Karen. And of course, his wife's name is Karen. And so
that makes it so much worse.
He said his response was that people should spend more time on their knees and less time on the internet.
She didn't think that all the way through.
He did not. He did not. And the thing is, obviously he meant praying, but come on, if you're talking about, you
just can't.
You left that wide open for an innuendo. And so I don't know who this is, but Lauren Duca tweeted, "Okay, who's gonna tell him?" And Monica Lewinsky replied, "Death, not me," with the side looking eyes.
Tough.
Look at that.
That's too funny.
And the thing is, the Monica Lewinsky scandal was in the, mid 90s. And so we're talking about probably 20, 25 years ago. Dang, we're old.
Yeah, we are.
Wow. Okay, so 20 years ago. I'm not going to say 25. Anyway, so a long time ago.
I was longer than that. Hold on.
It was 95, I think.
When it happened or when it got out?
When it happened.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was exposed to the public in 98.
Yeah, you're right.
So about 21 years since all of this really took off in the public eye. But anyway, the point is, it happened a long time ago. And I kind of love the fact that she can still bring it up because it is a thing that people know about and talk about still. And, I wonder if this is her way to try to stay relevant. She's really great on Twitter. She's tweeted some other great things in the past that, where she's making fun of herself. But which is so odd to me, because then when Beyonce had that song, Monica Lewinsky, All on My Dress, then she took offense to that lyric, but then she also like tweets things like this and makes fun of herself. So I don't know. I think it's just her way to try to stay relevant, but I don't know if it's enough for her to get her full what do you call it? 5 minutes of fame or whatever. 15 minutes of fame. But yeah, it seems like she's trying to stretch those 15 minutes out. I really want to know what she does. I feel like I've recently found out, but I can't remember. Because, can you imagine something like that happening would ruin your career? Yeah, also, I vaguely remember her tweeting something about, it was something about internships advice for students. And she was like, yeah, that didn't work out for me. So, seriously, like, I bless her heart. I hope she's got a good job. Or if not, I hope maybe the Clintons are giving her some money, because I would hate, that's probably illegal. I don't know what's legal and what's not. But I just would hate for something that happened 20 years ago to ruin your whole life forever. But, that happens.
To answer your question about what she does, according to Wikipedia, Monica Samil Lewinsky is an American activist, television personality, fashion designer, and former White House intern. So I guess she is a famous person.
Yeah, I meant more so like, how is she paying her bills? But
American television personality.
I've never seen her on anything. I see that.
To be fair, I don't watch TV.
Yeah, good for her if she is doing the thing. So, so apparently, I don't know, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this was a black teacher or a white teacher, but apparently somebody took it upon themselves to post a back to school bulletin board or whatever with pictures of kids' hairstyles and labeled them inappropriate and appropriate hairstyles of little boys and little girls, little black boys and girls, no white kids.
Of course not.
And the thing is, like, first of all, there is no hairstyle that's inappropriate.
I have a question. So what about any of these hairstyles is preventing students from learning, preventing other students from learning?
Nothing.
What about any of these hairstyles is putting any of these other students in danger?
Nothing.
Or in harm's way?
Nothing.
What about any of these hairstyles is preventing that student who's wearing it from learning or putting them in harm's way?
Nothing.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
And the worst thing about it is, like, okay, what they're calling appropriate haircuts for little black boys is just like a fade,
a low fade,
a clean haircut.
One,
and that's kind of what we grew up with. But now boys are kind of rocking the natural hair.
We're embracing our roots.
Yes, and I don't see what's wrong with that at all. Like they've got pictures of like kids with designs in the side of like their sides of their heads.
So my mom's first husband used to cut my hair when I was a kid. Almost every week I went to school with a Nike swoosh in the back of my head. It was so cool.
What's the problem?
Right.
I actually remember that.
You should, yeah. That was the thing.
Oh, wow. And then for inappropriate hairstyles for little girls, it looks like just like braids and like twists and barrettes. I don't understand what the problem is.
So basically what they're saying is that they want black parents to continue putting those harmful and potentially health risk dangerous chemicals into these children's hair so that their hair can look like who or what? Why?
Right. Are we supposed to just get a perm? Like, I don't know.
Just because you aren't comfortable with it?
And there's nothing wrong with a fade. There's nothing wrong with a perm. But the point is the parent should decide what they want to do with their child's hair. This should not be on a bulletin board about the school.
I would say with the child's, input as well. But,
sure, the child could have input, but at the end of the day, if you're a minor, the parent will decide.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm just saying, like, the kid should be able to be like, Mom, I want to cut my hair so I can get waves. Mom, I want to grow my hair out so I can have a fro. I want to wear my hair like OBJ. I want to wear my hair like whoever has.
And that can be a discussion between the kid and the parent.
But what I'm saying is that it ain't got nothing to do with the teacher.
Nope.
Or the school board.
Nope.
Or the principal.
Nope.
Who I'm pretty sure is a bunch of white people at this particular situation.
And it's just
why? It's just somebody
ridiculous.
Explain to me how that's taking away from a safe learning environment.
I can't make it make sense. And then last thing on my timeline, apparently Destiny's Child is reuniting.
They never split up.
They really didn't. They didn't split up. They just haven't put out an album since.
They've been doing solo projects.
Yeah,
they never broke up the band.
What was that last album called? Oh,
let me look it up.
I was. I can see it in my mind's eye. Like,
I'm surprised. I'm very upset that I had to type the whole word "Destinies" into Google before Child came up. I'm a little upset about that.
Wow.
The Destiny Fulfilled album in 2004?
Yes, Destiny Fulfilled. So 15 years. Well, here's the thing. So they're apparently celebrating their 20th anniversary. Destiny Child has been out longer than 20 years, but I think they're counting when Michelle joined.
Okay.
So that's fair. I mean, for us, I want the songs
it says
from
years
the 90s.
Active, according to Wikipedia, 1990 through 2006.
Right, but I think No came out in 95. Six.
Let me see. I feel like that was 98 because I feel like we were in 4th grade when that came out.
No, Say My Name was 99. So No was 96 or 95. I want to say 96.
Wait, no, because I feel like wait.
Wycliffe. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Apparently, Bills came out in 2000.
Yeah, that's when Michelle joined.
No, Bills had the 4 in the video. Remember?
Yes, it was 4, but then it was 3. That was like right in that transition phase. But because like when they shot the video, I don't want to go back through the whole story of how they broke up, but that album was the transition because Soldier was the first full album with all 3 of them, but Michelle joined in that transition, then Farrah left.
So that was 2000. I'm so confused. When did No come out? And it's not even listed on this Wikipedia page, which is strange. Yeah, so Destiny's Child, the first studio album was February 17th, 1998.
No.
And that's the one with No. And it came out in 97. I said the album came out in 98. The single came out in 97.
All right.
That's how albums and singles work, babe. Usually the single comes out to promote the album.
All right. Anyway, the point is they've been together longer than 20 years.
Yes.
But I think, like I said, the group, they're not counting the group. They're counting Michelle, which is sweet. So apparently they were inspired by the Spice Girls reunion, but also they were probably inspired by so many reunions. I mean, all of our faves are getting back together. I really hate I missed that Bad Boy tour. I'm okay that I missed B2K.
The Millennium Tour.
Yeah. I can live without that. I mean,
they finna do another one too.
Kudos to y'all that had fun and
they
got your lives.
Yeah, some of y'all's outfits was on point.
Yeah, I mean, I was reliving it vicariously, but I wasn't gonna pay to go see them. Now I wish I could get in a time machine and pay to go see them when I was a kid, but now, no thanks. But yeah, I'm definitely here for Destiny's Child. I guess along with the wedding savings, I need to save up for those tickets because I don't want to miss that. But bills. Speaking of bills. Bills. Yeah, ever since that Super Bowl, was it Super Bowl when Beyonce brought Kelly and Michelle out? And then the homecoming performance when she brought them out. She's been teasing us for a while, so I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I also said they never broke up because they always show up at least one spot in her tour, in Beyonce's tour.
Yeah, but I need them to be like together.
I need the entire tour from them. Yeah,
so I'm here for it.
Some new music.
That's all I have. That's on my timeline. What you got for obscure news?
What I will say about Beyonce / Destiny's Child, I wasn't the biggest Beyonce fan coming up. Since she went solo, I was always a diehard Destiny's Child fan. I did grow to appreciate Beyonce a lot more. However, I'm a diehard Destiny's Child fan. I need that. I need new stuff from them, and I need this tour. I need it to be on the same level so that we can watch it on HBO. Because just in case we don't make it to that tour because of wedding, honeymoon type stuff. Either way, So, back to what you just said. Would you mind repeating it?
That's all I have for what's on my timeline. What do you have for obscure news?
Thank you. Yeah. So, about that, I'm going to read this headline because it's weird. Woman puts octopus on face, ends up in hospital.
Why, though?
Why? For what reason? I'm not gonna try to say her last name. I could get it right if I put effort into it, and it's gonna take a while for me to like research how to properly say it. So I'm just gonna say Jamie told HuffPost she couldn't get the animal's beak to dislodge. It was like a prong. There's a video here. I'm not gonna watch that, but yeah, I guess she thought it'd be cool to take a picture with an octopus on her face, which frankly might have been a cool thing had it not gone so horribly wrong. However, it's not something I would have attempted personally.
I just don't understand. Don't get it.
She said it was perfect for a fun photo, except when the octopus bit down on her chin.
Like, people forget animals are animals.
Look at this picture of her struggling. It's kind of not funny, but it is. It really is. It's like, I'm not a huge animal activist kind of person, but I mean, animals, they're going to do what they want to do. Especially if you take them out of their habitat.
Toy.
They're not.
Like, when I went on vacation.
Whoa, look at this. She had a fish in her mouth.
She deserved to be slapped.
She was asking for that.
Somebody need to drop her off in a gorilla's cage, like right now. Some people just.
Yeah, let's see if she'll put a gorilla on her face, and this is
stupidity.
This is
at
rude
its finest.
Yeah.
It's rude to the animal. Because honestly, yeah, I'm not like a huge like animal person, but I mean, like I would never take an animal and put it on my face. Like either you're going to fish them and cook them or leave them alone. Like I don't like, why are you just taking them out for fun, for sport?
They don't want to be in your pictures.
Like seriously, one of the things they said when I went on vacation to the DR, there was like a really shallow part of the water we were in. It was super clear. It was beautiful. We went snorkeling. And one thing that a lot of people did was like take pictures with the starfish. And they were like, you can take pictures with them, but do not take them out of the water and like put them on you. So like there's a way to get a picture with them where they're still in the water, if that makes any sense. And it's just more humane. And so I'm like glad they told us that, because a lot of times people forget that starfish are fish and not like a rock or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an actual living thing.
It is a living, thank you. It's a living organism. And yeah, that's just, no, it's just wrong. And just because you want a cool picture, that is not a reason to treat them like crap.
Yeah. She said there's still a pus pocket and there's a spot under her chin, which
she deserves.
Says she bled profusely for 30 minutes afterwards. So yeah.
She should have bled for 30 days.
You are so rude.
I'm
evil.
mad. That I
see.
I don't understand that. Like, because you wanted a cool picture. It's not even like her holding the octopus beside her. She's put it on her face.
Right. And then she got a fish literally hanging out of her mouth.
That's gross. That's what really made me mad, was the fish hanging out of her mouth. Yeah, I'm over it.
And the thing is, there's Yeti coolers. She's got a Yeti hat on, a Stay Wild Yeti t-shirt. I wonder what Yeti's gonna have to say about this, because Yeti is all about being out in the wild. That's what all their products are about, is being able to keep your drinks and your food cool out in nature longer, so you can stay out on your trips and do all of that kind of stuff. I wonder what they're gonna have to say about that, because they got Yeti looking kind of crazy right now. And everybody who knows me knows I'm a bit of a Yeti fan too. So yeah, that's not gonna go over well with a lot of people. So yeah, best of luck to her, I guess. Next crazy headline. I'm sure y'all have all seen this by now, but
what else you got?
I need to get that sound bite and just put it in here. Hopefully we don't get sued for it, but that'd be dope. Gang leader attempts prison escape disguised as his daughter. Brazilian drug trafficker, I did say it right, it felt wrong. Brazilian drug trafficker. Why does that sound? Why does the word trafficker?
Why does that sound weird?
Person from Brazil who traffics drugs attempted to switch places with his 19-year-old daughter by wearing a silicone mask and wig, according to authorities. So he basically That's him trying to look like his daughter and get out.
Epic fail.
Yeah, we'll post these on the IG so you can see all of the stuff I'm talking about. Yeah. He's Da Silva is his last name. Da Silva is serving a 73-year sentence for drug trafficking. And he apparently plans to leave his 19-year-old daughter in prison to do the time.
Wow. How kind. What great parenting.
Here's the thing. I really feel like they would have been like, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. Get out of here. And then realize that he was gone. I feel like that's what he thought was going to happen. But yeah. So he looks nothing like his daughter. Well, it doesn't actually show his daughter. Not that I've seen, at least. But supposedly...
He doesn't look like a woman.
He doesn't look like a woman. He looks like, if anything, the closest that he might look to a woman, at least, is, hate to be crass, but he looks like a sex toy.
Yeah,
he literally legit looks like one of those dolls that you just pay like whatever they cost, and then you just have a doll instead of a person. That's what he looks like, and it's a little bit creepy around the eyes because obviously you can't really blink, so you just got some silicone eyes, and yeah. So he got on glasses and a wig, and a little T-shirt with donuts on it that looks like something a 19-year-old girl would wear, and some flip flops. He almost had it, but apparently the guards asked for the daughter's ID, thinking like, wait a second, something's not right here. We need to see your ID. Hands on the ID, and apparently he looked nothing like the girl's photo. So yeah, and I was listening to the radio this morning when I first heard this story, or yesterday morning actually, and apparently his shirt was stuffed to give the appearance of boobs, and one of the boobs fell.
That is sad. That's just sad. That's something out of a movie, for real.
Yeah, it seems like something you would do. Like if Hangover 4 becomes a thing, it seems like something they would have done in Hangover 4. I'm gonna wrap it up there because let's go ahead and get through the rest of this show, because I feel like do we have any dramatic listener letters like last week?
We did not. Y'all send us some stuff. Send us your drama. Ryan loves the drama, apparently. So
yes, I want the messy stuff.
We're
not gonna say who you are.
So you can email us at askTTRL@gmail.com. That's ASKTTRL@gmail.com. And we want to hear from you. That we want to hear what's going on in your life. We want to hear your questions about whatever work drama, relationship drama, family drama, any mental health issues you got going on, or if you just have a question for us, we would love that as well, and we might read your question on the show. So definitely hit us up. And so this week, short and sweet, we have a question from Darnell, who wants to know, which do we prefer, sleeping on our stomach, side, or back?
Man, I cannot sleep on my back. I usually start on my stomach and then end up on my side and then switch from time to time. But I cannot fall asleep if I'm laying on my back. I just can't fall asleep. I won't. I don't understand it.
I'm the same. I cannot fall asleep on my back. I have tried because my mom sleeps on her back and literally does not move at all, and I'm a very wild sleeper, so I always used to try to mimic my mom because I thought that's how you're supposed to sleep. And lo and behold, years later, I read an article that said sleeping on your back is the best posture for you, and I just can't do it. I don't understand how people do it. Like, some people can sleep on their back with no pillow. I just can't do it. I have to have at least one pillow. I used to do 2, but now I'm down to 1, so it's pretty good. Except for hotel pillows, then I usually need 2 because they're kind of super soft. Anyway, point is,
you'll melt right into that.
You do
need that additional support.
You do. But I'm typically a stomach sleeper. That's my favorite position, to just grab that pillow and cuddle up. But I've been trying to train myself to sleep on my left side because I read that that's the best side that you're supposed to sleep on. So that's the next best thing to sleeping on your back. So I do try to at least start out on my left side. I typically prefer the right side. I don't know if it's the positioning of the room or what, but I really like sleeping on my right side, but I try to make myself sleep on the left. It's something to do with the way your organs are set up, it's better for you to sleep on your left side. So
I would, but the way my organs are set up.
Exactly.
You set me up for that.
The way your organs are set up. And so I'm one of those people where if I read an article about something, I will force myself to, or try to train myself to like that thing. So like years ago, literally like probably middle school or high school, I read something about the amazing health benefits of blueberries, and I trained myself to like blueberries. Now I love blueberries. So that's kind of how I am. Same thing with almonds, salmon, like anything that I find out like, okay, this is really, really good for you. I try. Sometimes I don't always succeed, but I try to implement it. So that's why I sleep on my side. But naturally, I'm a stomach sleeper. I love it, especially when I'm sick. Like if I have a stomach ache, it really just helps to sleep on my stomach.
Yeah, I can fall asleep standing up before I fall asleep on my back. Because I've fallen asleep standing up a few times in life, and it's easier than it is to fall asleep laying on my back. I don't understand why I can't. I don't understand why that's so difficult for me. I'm going to try tonight, but I'm sure it's not going to work.
Look, I would love to. Like, sleep, talk about sleep goals. Like, sleep is one of those things that it's just so odd that, like, think about how weird it is that we have to sleep. It's just so weird. Like, honestly, this whole conversation is making me sleepy, but it's just so bizarre to me that God was like, yeah, so like you could spend the majority of the day doing stuff, but when you see it start getting dark, like go ahead and wind it down. And honestly, I think with the invention of the light bulb, it kind of ruined our sleep, because now we can kind of trick ourselves to stay up later. Back when it was literally when the sun go down, you had no choice. Why are you laughing?
I don't know why that statement was funny to me.
But can you imagine?
Like, were you there?
No, I wasn't, but I think about that a lot. I think about really weird stuff. I think about like,
yeah, you do.
When, okay, if you literally just had the light of the sun, just think about that. If your whole day was around literally the sun.
Yeah, that's generally how days work. But yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, now we have light bulbs, so we can stay up later. But if it just got dark and you had no choice, you can see nothing. That would be so funny.
There was moonlight and candles and fire.
Yes. But still, like that triggers your brain to be like, all right, you need to wind it down.
Yeah.
So I love that. And it makes me want to get some good sleep. Y'all know I have sleep issues. I have had just about every sleep disorder you could think of, from sleepwalking to night terrors to snoring.
Kicking me.
Yeah, I sleep wild. So I probably need to do a sleep study.
Yeah, you do.
I'm scared though.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems weird.
But weird versus scared, I don't get it.
I know. So our love life advice of the week. Y'all know every week we try to leave y'all with a quick tip. So, I write relationship advice articles for this company called Afropolitan Mom. So check it out, afropolitanmom.com. And so I try to, leave y'all with a little tip or a suggestion. Some of y'all may be in a relationship, or some of y'all may be, in a relationship with yourself. But either way, here's my tip. Find time to laugh together. Like, literally go out of your way to just get silly. And I say that get silly.
Keep setting me up. I have to.
I say that because I am, if y'all haven't noticed, a pretty serious person.
Oh my God, she's so strict.
I'm very particular.
She's mean.
I like things a certain way. I'm very, professional, and, I'm all about my job and my business. And, I just kind of like.
She has no sense of humor.
Sometimes I don't have a sense of humor. And so sometimes it's like, no, it ain't funny. Like, no, we need to do X, Y, and Z. And so I do have to like go out of my way and kind of force myself to have fun, to be silly. And like, those are some of my favorite moments with Ryan is when we are just like literally just being goofballs around the house, or in Walmart. Like that is one of my favorite things. Like literally the other day we were at Walmart and just dancing in front of like one of those cameras.
Yeah, they got the security cameras where you can like see yourself as like a screen. We always do that. And we should be looking at ourselves and we're just like, because they play music in the background.
Yeah,
so we're just sitting there
dancing down the aisle. And like that right there is just, I just feel like those are the moments that sustain our relationship.
I need to look on YouTube and see if anybody posted that, because I know that last one we just did a couple weeks ago. That's
it was epic. But yeah, I just think like these are the moments we're gonna look back on years from now and just be like, oh my gosh, we are such goofballs. And I also, those moments remind me of like our early days when we first started dating, because when you're new in a relationship, you're, all lovey-dovey and bubbly and goofy and silly and all that. And so I just want to say it's important to bring that back every now and then. And so that's important to me. Is it important to you?
Oh, absolutely. Because especially since you have no sense of humor. And I find everything funny. That's pretty much the story of how we met in the 4th grade when we were arch nemesis.
I was not your arch nemesis.
Yes, you were. You were the only person I didn't get along with. You were the only person that had something against me.
I didn't have anything against you.
The only person that caused me to miss my recess.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it up to you. So yeah, get silly.
Yeah. So like I mentioned before, I'm not like a big TV watcher, but Tara loves watching TV. So sometimes I'm like, look, we need to watch my shows now. So last couple of weeks, I've been trying to force her to watch Atlanta with me. The show that's written, produced, directed, starring Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. I slept on that show for quite some time. It's like I knew it was gonna be a good show when I first heard about it coming out. I just never got around to watching it. Right, and it's so funny.
It is. It's pretty
so
good.
Funny. So that's. Yeah, find something that you both can laugh at, share your hilarious experiences, and literally laugh together, because you know what they say, laughter is the best medicine.
It really is.
And it really is.
Seriously.
There's days where I'm like super stressed out. I would just look up something like Alonzo Larone on YouTube and just laugh.
Get a dictionary.
Right. I was waiting on you to say get a dictionary. It took you long enough. But yeah. Yeah, shout out to Alonzo Larone.
Yes.
But yeah, anything that you find funny, just find something, laugh at it, and share it with each other, Laughing to get the couple that laughs together.
Stays together.
Basically, do stuff together. That's how you stay together.
Basically.
Ultimately. But yeah, that's it for me.
So make sure you're following us at This Is TTRL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you manage multiple accounts, go ahead and follow us on all your accounts. Show us some love. Drop us a comment. Hit us with a like. And share, if you like our podcast, share it with a friend. We want to...
tell cool people.
Yeah, we want to kind of build the audience up. And so if other people that might like this or something like this, share it. And just keep in mind, you can find Tara Talks Ryan Listens on, your typical podcast player. So make sure you're tuning in every Thursday. We will be here for you. And I just want to end with, just repeating that Toni Morrison quote: if there's a book you really want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. And that is what we're doing with this podcast. We're, putting it out there, something. It's all about creativity and whatever is in your heart, your passion, your purpose. Live it out. Live your dreams, y'all.
Live your dreams. Like I always say, if you're alive and you want to do it, do it. What's stopping you? So with that being said, like she said, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at This Is TTRL. Follow me, THERY_C as in man, hold up, it's the right C.
And follow me at TCAR_examiner.
And that wraps it up for this week.
Have a great week.
Peace.